compared to,
that you are making.
compared to like almost all of these players, I'd be like considered unk status, but like we'll not talk about that. Instead, we'll be talking about this matchup that's coming up very quickly.
All right, and PCO, a little bit of hesitation there, preventing the misdrop on top of the SDPC into center well.
Sub 10-second match.
Yeah, a couple of misdrops, unfortunately, there for Potato, and PCO, again, a very, very speed-oriented player, and when, you make even just a single mistake, that weakness can be snuffed out extremely quickly and forces you to really be on top of your game of, I might have a misdrop, but I need to make sure I know what's happening on my stack immediately to prevent an early top out. And that is a hefty spike. Doesn't even... Actually, that spike built Surge in the process and was still so much garbage that Potato had no choice but to top out.
Yeah, PCO is playing very aggressive this starting round. Trying to get that perfectly... Not quite.
All right, this is a decent bit of cheese that Potato manages to work through, being a bit cognizant of that garbage well, but there's a lot of incoming garbage. PCO right now has the Surge advantage, partly just due to the raw speed, but a little bit of downstack combo, trying desperately to protect Potato's board. Manages to stay alive, but having to fight really, really hard to keep that board manageable.
What? PCO has a very interesting approach to this.
I mean, at the moment, we're seeing not too much in terms of things getting, built up all of a sudden.
Yeah, nobody's really building. They're kind of just playing low here.
Mm-hmm. Which,
and,
I feel
whenever they get
PCO,
garbage...
That's a bit of an odd decision to make, although I guess if you're trying to build Surge, it is probably easier if the stack is lower, so that you have quicker access to the garbage. And what a, oh my goodness, 35 spike, but Potato as well, having the necessary resources to counter all of that damage. And that is honestly just quite incredible that that works so well for Potato. And now there's the 2 quads after the Surge spike from Potato, and PCO somehow is unfazed. Board goes up just a couple of lines, but that's really the most harm that that spike has done. And as Potato having a harder time accessing the garbage after the O-piece misdrop, PCO is now up 3 games to none.
Yeah, but that round took considerably longer than the previous 2. So... Actually, I'm not sure what that means. Not yet.
Well, at the moment,
that is a pretty considerable spike. Yeah, no, PCO, once again, going back on the aggression.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because the quad was taken from the center on Potato's board, there was no feasible way to skim and take back, all that added benefit from Surge, which would have, basically countered, the same amount. I just... Alright, at the moment, we are seeing a bit of a speed up from both PCO and Potato, hovering around that 4 pieces per second. Potato able to be a little bit more smart this time around, taking advantage of the Surge, but unfortunately not able to keep the current stack open and accessible as he is doing so. Alright, and we've got mirrored board states for SDPC spin between PCO and Potato. Nearly identical, over 5 bags in. That's almost 30 straight consecutive pieces of an identical board state. All right, Potato had some pretty good utility of garbage over on the right-hand side. Tried to burst it out, get a ton of damage over to PCO. But unfortunately, that has meant 3 ammunition for PCO and nearly 1 attack per piece. And PCO now is making very similar claims that we saw from earlier of the potential for the first sweep of the broadcast.
Yeah, I mean... like that match between 3 Rotate and Agar. Like, we are so... Oof.
But like
PCO, I mean, yeah, just aggressive lead here.
I feel
Oh,
like the
but those
interesting-
pieces... Oh, it looks like we...
Is there an option? Is that livable?
No!
Oh,
so close.
just barely.
Just barely
And
not.
Potato ends the sweep.
But the broom's back in the closet now. I mean, I think that is kind of the exact same sort of thing that happened to 3 Rotate facing Agar.
It was exactly
It was like
6-0 and then 6-1. Yep.
Yeah. Like, that is...
That was why I wanted to call it out. It was like, oh, look, it's the same thing. And yep, it's the same thing.
It is quite literally the same thing.
All right, we'll have to keep an eye if PCO is able to get the 11-1. But at this point, there's so much pressure coming in that is not going to be the case.
Here's a bit of a fate change. Potato taking another point, starting to close that gap. Now only 4 points behind. Potato starting to get that ball rolling, starting to get some momentum, and immediately throws it out with those misdrops. That is going to be rough to recover from. You can recover from it, but I mean, that was definitely a momentum killer.
Ooh, and I love that T-spin triple that reopens up the sensor well. PCO got 3 extra surge during that spike due to the clean garbage, and then launched surge just as like the insult to injury. And there is, again, even with a very substantial surge, we have H-Cannon? H-Cannon from Potato? Are you kidding me? I did not expect to see H-Cannon from anyone except for Andrew in this timeline, but apparently we've got an H-Cannon opener from Potato. Just trying anything and everything to shake things up here in this 2-2, 5 sets in a row. And we got ice spins, and we are... What a forecasted STSD from Potato. We've got some very impressive stacking. If this goes on any longer, it's going to have to be a Twitch highlight reel.
Like,
I mean, look at this. Just
what?
look at this.
Okay.
That's
All
still
right.
bullshit. Look at this.
Okay, it's a huge spike. And PCO... Oh, okay, I was about to say there's no way PCO lives that. Oh my goodness.
And if anyone knows anything about anything, 28 for a surge spike is quite literally one of the best surges you could possibly end it on. At least in this caster's humble opinion.
H-Cannon viable question mark?
I mean,
Future
it's
players
an
take
option.
notes? Future players just take notes right now?
It's 1-0 at the moment. I don't know why Potato decided not to go for H-Cannon again, although that might just be, like, back-dependent, potentially. I don't know. I'm not the one using H-Cannon, though.
I mean, it's what, IJL open.
I mean, you'll recognize H-Cannon when you see it just by the left-hand side of the board. I think it's always built on the left for some reason, although I guess you could probably build it on the right.
But then that wouldn't be an H. That would be, like, some other letter we haven't invented yet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, H is not symmetrical. I guess that's probably the reason.
So I guess it would still be
Well,
H-Cannon in the way that, like, typical ST stacking isn't done with ST. It's more like Z. Whatever. That's not for me to decide.
Congratulations, you've got 3 stars on all the cups. You've unlocked mirror mode.
Don't remind me.
All right. Well, at the moment, Potato is getting a couple of flashbacks to this incredible pressure from PCO that we saw just like blitzing out from earlier in the set. But right now, PCO's greedy and misdropping like no tomorrow.
My goodness!
And
like, PCO was like carrying that bag and then tripped over a Lego and then like spilled it all over the floor.
this is a 4-1 run right now from Potato. The momentum has shifted entirely. So, and look at how quickly the back-to-back surge has been getting built up.
Unfortunately, I had to break it with that. Yeah, had to break it with that double.
All right, sorry. I'll refrain from commenting on surge until the surge is done. But that is a lot of garbage very quickly. Potato needs an out. Cycling
Potato
through the pieces very, very well.
Look at that down stack. Oh my goodness.
Nearly topping out, having to sacrifice an eyepiece, but it's not enough to secure the top out. PCO is not able to win this round despite how incredibly close he has been so many times, even just in this single round. But something is happening here in TWC, and it has been extremely beneficial to Potato's momentum. As the lovely donation has to bail on it, the T-piece is not showing up early enough.
PCO is playing really aggressively, like playing way more on the offense compared to Potato. But like Potato able to just deal with these spikes, dealing some pretty solid counters. But like we're seeing kind of a
be
seeing a pretty stable loop here actually.
And you can see as well, like, that having the surge as well, even if it's not used on offense, it can be like your last line of defense if that spike is just coming in at a really bad time. And unfortunately...
Oh, we might be seeing the end here! Oof. Potato... Oh, Potato's doing such a good job of maintaining this. But PCO, you know, still has the advantage, still has more room for error.
Oh, and here we go. LST Blitz, but PCO misdrops, and that's going to cause a bit of some issues there on the left-hand side. Manages to open up that stack with the surge. Going up to 10, Potato pops it, trying to send clean, send cheese. It only sends clean, as that is a beautiful well for PCO to just immediately burst out with the center well. And you can see that there is not a lot that PCO has in the tank. Has to sacrifice an eyepiece, and that's going to be another round of PCO.
Yeah, just try to make Swiss cheese and just, you know, made the cleanest block you've ever seen. It is.
I know chat's kind of discussing this a little bit, but for those that came in from the push notification in-game, welcome to another TWC broadcast. We are finishing up Group C Swiss stage, and right now, both of these players are desperately fighting for one of the remaining spots in our top 32. A win here would grant it to them, but a loss here ejects the player out at 33rd overall.
Yeah, and we've been seeing some intense matches here in the Group C stage. Like, so many close matches, so many, like, quite a few tiebreakers. We're trying to just determine who can move on, who couldn't.
All right, that is a hefty surge disadvantage right now from PCO. And Potato
sending a huge surge here. I don't think PCO has the room. Yeah, that's just instant death.
All right.
Here we go. The score is 9-5. We're working a full-time job here watching this match.
Hey, what a reference. All right, and we've got the same SDPC spin from both PCO and Potato, blitzing it out at 4 pieces a second.
Yeah, Potato's doing a fantastic job. Like, even with the disadvantage, I feel like Potato's been doing a great job of maintaining cool.
I would say yes, but this is a dangerous situation to be in, and unfortunately...
It's dangerous. But here we go, PCO is right there. Right at the end.
And again, Potato
one more win is enough.
That, like... Oh, okay.
Here we go, here's the H-Cannon. Setting up the STSD, has to use Boomerang. But, you know, the back-to-back's still there. PCO's board is looking very interesting.
And Potato's had a lot of cheese, but manages to do a really nice job cleaning it up. Nearly just, I cannot believe that Potato decided to tank all that. That was terrifying. Garbage came in so quickly.
Potato is not one to back away from a challenge, it seems.
All right, and still getting some more all-spin singles to gradually increase that all-spin counter without sending that clean garbage to PCO for the counter spike. Potato is...
Oh, I think that's it, though. Oh, you can see the S movement. Exasperated. You know that's game. PCO moves on to the knockout stage, and that is unfortunately going to close the curtain on POTATO2017's performance here at TWC 2025.
And that was so unfortunate. You could see that